Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
It is currently August 10th, 2023, and we still have no resolution on the James Harden situation. Right now, the vibes are high in Philadelphia. The Eagles, the Phillies, and the Sixers are just moving along, doing their thing, and nobody knows what the heck is going on. Really, the whole NBA right now is completely dead. It is quiet for about a week and a half now, 2 weeks, and this is typical at this time of year, right? No noise at all on the NBA airwaves. Now, there are two outstanding situations, James Harden, Damian Lillard, which I do expect to heat up within a couple weeks, but everybody kept telling me to preach patience, and here we are, what, a month, maybe a little over a month away from NBA training camp, and the Sixers still have not figured this thing out with James Harden. Apparently, both parties are not talking about anything right now, but we did get some video of James Harden. He was in a different country, and he was being swarmed. We'll talk about that and some interesting things being said about Joel Embiid. Is he coming back on a vengeance tour? Is Joel Embiid ready to step it up to another level and be successful? Welcome on in, Philly Take with RB. RB here, man. Guys, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the show. Ring the bell. Don't miss any of the content. We will be heating up very soon. Videos, live streams, and more. Look, I'm on here just reporting the news, man. And really, there is nothing right now in terms of the NBA world. However, we did just get this a little while ago. We finally got one piece of news, the opening night schedule announced. And how funny is it that there is no Eastern Conference team playing on NBA opening night? Has that happened before? I don't even know, but is that a message from the NBA, right? The Harden situation, the Dame situation. Is there anything appealing about the Eastern Conference right now? On October 24th, opening night, we will see the Lakers at the Denver Nuggets and the Suns at the Golden State Warriors. What do we think about that? Let me know down below. I want to get into Joel Embiid because Joel Embiid, hopefully is having a much better offseason than he did last year, right? If you remember precisely last year, Joel Embiid came out in the first training camp practice and joked about doing nothing last offseason. He can't do that this offseason, right? You won your MVP, you did your thing, but the Sixers still have not gotten past the second round. And Ramona Shelburne was on ESPN, because Joel Embiid, again, has to have a stellar offseason. He needs to be in the tip-top shape, the pristine shape, and be ready to go a full season along with a playoff run without getting injured. And like I was saying last year, he literally did nothing in the offseason. It took him a couple weeks into the season this year to get acclimated because he had a foot injury and he couldn't do any conditioning, no strength training, nothing. He didn't do anything last offseason. So hopefully it's going much better for Joel Embiid. And here's what Ramona Shelburne had to say about Joel Embiid. She says, quote, "He wants to come back in the best shape of his life. That is a goal that he has set. His mentality is that he's going to give everything he has to the Sixers this year." Now, this was a whole clip on ESPN. Ramona went on there and she talked, and we have the extended quote. Shout out to my guy Dave Early for posting an article on Liberty Ballers. So we'll look at the extended quotes because she did say some more interesting things other than this. But the mentality is he's trying to go all in. He's trying to give everything he has. The Sixers need to do that this season. Right now, I still don't know what to say. There's nothing that we can talk about when all they've done is gone out and got Pat Bev and 4 centers. That's the plan right now. They are in a stalemate. James Harden's camp, Daryl Morey are not communicating. This is going to be another ugly situation. That just is what it is. And hopefully they can figure it out contractually. But it's going to get ugly. Before we get into the quotes, though, let's look at James Harden, a live look, because he's in Shanghai. James Harden. Does James Harden care about anything right now? Or is he just living his best life? Here's a video of him pulling up in China, and he was swarmed. Yo, this is actually crazy. This is crazy. Look, James Harden was at the peak for a while. He was one of the best in the game. He has ultimately, contributed to changing the game of basketball. And I know he's had a lot of influence in other countries, but this is crazy. James Harden is 34, and, they have all the Rocket jerseys on. They have all the Rocket jerseys. I feel like, we're back in 2015? Does James Harden care right now? Right? All this, stuff going on behind the scenes with the Sixers and James Harden, and he's pissed off and they're pissed off. Does he care, man? Does he even want to play? He's a celebrity. He can go around, sell his wine, do a bunch of other business ventures, right? And go out there and earn $40 million on the court for one season, $35 million, and do whatever. I mean, he's probably living his best life right now. And we're all sitting here, fans of this team, wondering what the hell is going to happen. James Harden swarmed in China. And hey, maybe Shanghai's on the phone. Maybe Shanghai's calling. Who knows, man? I don't know. Joel Embiid, James, they got to talk behind the scenes. Something needs to happen here. Something needs to happen. Speaking of Joel Embiid, let's get back to him. So, Ramona Shelburne, here's quote number 1. She said, "I think if you ask the players, they are hopeful that James Harden plays with them this year. That's option 1. It's the same thing for the front office, but the front office is in a stalemate with James Harden. There is nothing happening right now in terms of trade discussions. There's just no offers that really move this team forward." Thank you. That's what I've been saying. That's why it's not going to happen before training camp. Sorry to spill the beans here. It's not going to happen before training camp unless a team comes out of nowhere, a star wakes up, he's disgruntled in his situation, and he says, trade me. And it makes sense because Daryl Morey's not trading for Terrence Mann, Robert Covington, and Marcus Morris. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee it doesn't matter if James wants to go live on the beach in California. No. It's just not happening unless it makes sense for the Sixers who are trying to compete. And if it ends up with James coming back, okay, well, they got to work this thing out. But here is the bigger quote from Ramona that included more substance in terms of what she was saying about Joel Embiid. Here it is. Embiid wants to come back in the best shape of his life. You talk about players losing weight and all that, and that is a goal he has set. Until we see it, let's push pause on that. But I think his mentality is going to give everything he has to the Sixers this year, and that includes putting his arm around James Harden. Well, I hope so. Hope they can work it out. Obviously, those two are fine, but, they need to talk about what this vision looks like and whether the Sixers can retain James Harden at all. That includes trying to lift Tyrese Maxey up. That includes inviting all those guys to his wedding. You saw Tobias Harris there. You saw George Niang, a former Sixer. And I think this year really is a make or break year in the sense that they all have this cap space going forward and that he's in very close communication with Daryl Morey and the front office, even owner Josh Harris, talking about their plans and strategy for the future. And so their plan is we've got cap space after next year. Do better. You better do something with that cap space. Free agents, trades. Embiid is very involved with those discussions going forward with the Sixers. And I think when we talk about this year, it doesn't necessarily mean at the end of the year he asks out. It means this year is very important because they got to get a squad together for the long haul. So, everybody keeps talking about the long haul. It really does feel like the Sixers are just going to sign who they have, to a bunch of one-year deals, pick up a couple other, bare bottom pieces and maybe just let it run out and build around Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey after this year. But if that indeed is the plan, I just have never seen an organization have an MVP player and have a young rising star in Tyrese Maxey and literally just punt a season in the middle of the MVP player's prime. Like it can't happen that way, especially after you've been so close and, nobody knows what's going to happen. They're trying to work this thing out with James Harden, but I think it's important that Joel Embiid comes back in the best shape of his life. Cause again, all the excitement is over. Like now it's time to produce results in the playoffs. It's been time. And to be honest, everybody, including Joel, has just come up short in the playoffs. And you can bring Nick Nurse in, you can bring other players in, but the stars of the team have to carry you. Unfortunately, Joel really has not had a fully healthy playoff run. Even this year, you could tell things were bothering him. Now, he's just special, so he's going to produce, but it's time for Joel Embiid to freaking stay healthy throughout an entire season. If that involves load management or whatever else, sure. I mean, I'm willing to try anything at this point to get him to the playoffs 110%. And, you got to rely on others. I think Nick Nurse is going to, like we talked about yesterday, really allocate more of this offense and spread the wealth and make a more dynamic offense. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Overall, it's been a pretty bummy offseason so far. So hopefully they have a plan up their sleeves. We'll see what happens. Give me all your thoughts down below in the comments section. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.